Shri, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Prestaya Utare Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sadhu Dainatini Choja Hana Manchakada Chinma Premarat Kantayostra Hare Krishna. So we'll continue our Bhagavad Gita later sometime when all devotees are there. That means in between. So I'll continue our last year's discussion on Bhagavatamrita. You all must be wondering that why I am, instead of, we are supposed to study books given by Srila Prabhupada, his purports especially in classes. But anyway, this I am reading now, so you will all help me to read. So we are, Gopakumara is in, we are in the second part of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So Gopakumara has traveled to all the holy places on earth. Then he went to Swargaloka, then to Tapoloka, Maharloka, Tapoloka, then Janaloka. Then he went to Brahmaloka also, and he visited passed through all the coverings of the universe also, Brahmanda. So these coverings also, she has some mat. We can confront. So all these coverings, there are 7 coverings around the, within the around the, hollow inside the universe. So and each covering, they are so 10 times greater than the previous one. Every successive covering. And first there is covering of the earth, then there is covering of water, then fire, air, ether, like that. So these coverings, they are not just matter, So if you see in the Western history also, up to the time of Kepler, everyone believed that all the heavenly bodies, they are inhabited by living entities, and they are persons, like Surya, Chandra, we say, So later it all changed, everything became just mass of matter. So, and then impersonal physical laws and mathematical formulas. So universe, reduced to such impersonalism. So here we see from the descriptions of Brihad Bhagavatamrita that even in these coverings also, these coverings are also not just earthly covering, means just earth, mud is there, no. There are living entities there. So he went to earthly covering. There was Mother Earth there, Bhudevi, and her worshipable Lord Varahadev was there. So like that, in each successive covering he passes through. Then afterwards he comes to now he is in Mahapura Loka. Mahapura Loka is Mahavishnu's abode, it is. So this Mahavishnu's abode is described in those who have read Krishna book. You all, towards the end, there is one pastime when Arjuna was in Dwaraka. So he was visiting Krishna. Then that Brahmana's sons died immaturely. So generally in those days, children would not die in presence of parents, especially father. So sons of Brahmana were dying, and then he came and he complained. In fact, he was chastising because the king is impious and all. So that time Dwaraka king was Ugrasen, and he was patronized by Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna himself. So that means king is not pious, he is not doing pious activities, he is impious, he is sinful. So Brahmana came and chastised. So then Arjuna became angry, and he took a vow that I will protect your sons, and if I don't protect, I will enter into fire. But somehow, however, Arjuna tried, so again his sons died. Then Krishna knew what is happening. So he takes Krishna takes Arjuna to this Mahakalapura. There is description of this place, and at what speed we have to go to reach there. Anyway, Gopakumara, by the power of the mantra which was given by his guru, he has reached there, and there first he meets Lord Shiva and his associates. Ganesha gives him instructions. Then he also sees residents of Vaikuntha. So passing by there, they also give him advice. Particularly in this instructions given by residents of Vaikuntha, there is particular topic which is touched, whether meditation is important or chanting the holy names is important, or which one is better than among the two. So in this way they glorify the chanting of the holy names. So now this is second part of Bhagavatamritam, chapter 3. So title of the chapter is Bhajana, worship. Basically this description is going on now, Bhajana, of chanting the holy names. Text number we have covered 175, now 176. Taddarshane jnana drishaiva jaya mane pipashyamyahamesha dragyam mano bhavet krishna krapa prabhava Vijñapako harsha vishesha vradhyai. Even though one's vision of the Lord has its origin in the eye of knowledge, one may think, I am seeing him with my own two eyes. This simply indicates the power of Krishna's mercy, by which the devotee feels his own special joyful unfurl. So here, because in meditation, one is supposed to see the Lord within one's heart. That famous verse is there in 12th canto of Bhagavatam. Dhyana avasthad gatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. So yogis see the Supreme Lord in their meditation, in their heart. So now by chanting the holy names, how one gets the vision of the Lord. And by meditation also one gets the vision of the Lord. So both comparative analysis between both of them is made here. So basically what is yogis here, the point is yogis, they have to endure more, but ultimately they also need the mercy of the Lord. So here devotee is understanding that everything is ultimately dependent on the Lord. They take to bhakti and especially chanting the holy name instead of some mechanical process. So here that vision, seeing the Lord, how it is mercy of the Lord. So one may think after traversing through this mechanical path of Ashtanga yoga or meditation, so one may think that with my power, with my yogic practice, I am able to see the Lord. No, it is not. It is power of Krishna's mercy. So I'll read once more. Even though one's vision of Lord has its origin in the eye of knowledge, one may think I am seeing him with my own two eyes. This simply indicates the power of Krishna's mercy, by which the devotee feels his own special joy unfurl. Now any vision, any activity we do, ultimately it is dependent on mercy of the Lord. So there is a verse in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that how it is description of Paramatma feature is elaborately discussed in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because Arjuna had asked what is the object of, what is knowledge and what is object of knowledge, jnana and jnaya. So Atma, in one half verse or one verse, Lord Krishna describes Atma as object of knowledge, and later many verses he describes as Paramatma as object of knowledge, realization. So there it is said, Sarvata panipadam tat sarvatokshi shiromukam sarvata shrutimaloke sarvam avritya tishtati. Sarvata panipadam tat, his hands, legs, heads are everywhere, his eyes are everywhere. Sarvam avritya tishtati, he encompasses everything. So it is told. So Prabhupada, he said, knowledge means to realize that. What is the meaning of Lord's hands, legs, heads, everywhere? So one meaning is that, and it is also, Prabhupada also describes that knowledge means to know that our hands, what we call as our hands, these hands, legs, eyes, nose, mouth, they are Krishna's hands. That is knowledge. To understand this, to realize this is knowledge. So Prabhupada says, how we can understand? So we may think that, oh, I with my desire I am able to move all these hands, legs, I am able to use them, but it is not so. Only according to Krishna's desire, these hands are, these senses are performing their activities. Now to give one example, if you are paralyzed, you may desire to move or we may desire to move our hands, legs, eyes, mouth, everything, but we cannot do that, right? So that time we realize that, oh, this is not, they may not realize then also, they have to hear from Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, we may think, I am seeing with him with my own two eyes. So this simply indicates the power of Krishna's mercy, by which devotee feels his own special. So I'll read the commentary. Some less devotional thinkers who argue to Pipalayana that one can behold the Supreme Lord only with the eye of knowledge, not with external senses. If the Supreme were an object of material vision, they would say he could not be transcendentally self-manifest. Pipalayana would respond that even if this is true, a special ecstasy is available only to one who presumes that he sees the Lord with his own eyes. Now this Pipalayana Rishi is one of Brahma's son. So he would reside in Tapaloka. And Tapaloka means you all know that they are tapasvis. And even if devotees only imagine themselves to be seeing the personality of God with their eyes, the ecstasy they experience is real. That ecstasy itself is proof that the potency of Lord's special mercy has descended upon them, making them rejoice with wonder. The Supreme is impossible to see, but now I am seeing him right before me. So that verse is there. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grayam indriyai sevan mukhehi jivvado swayameva spuratada. With our blunt material senses, we cannot appreciate Krishna's name, form, qualities, etc. But when we engage in devotional service beginning with our tongue, so Lord himself reveals to us. Ultimately, Lord has to reveal himself. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrito mudo yamna vijanati mamebhya paramavayam. So Krishna does not, he covers himself to non-devotees with his curtain of yogamaya. So Kunti also said that. So text number 177. Prabho kripa pura balena bhakte prabhavato va khalu darshanam syat atat parichinna drushapi siddhen nirantaram tadmanaseva samyak. By the force of the vast mercy of the Lord or by the natural influence of devotional service, one can see him. So with the limited eyes, one can achieve the constant vision one may have with the mind in meditation. By the force of that mercy of the Lord or by natural influence of devotional service, one can see him. So it is told that in Bhagavad Gita also again and again you see, especially Prabhupada reveals that how Krishna is explaining super excellence of devotional service in context with the other spiritual practices. So how bhakti is superior to Ashtanga Yoga, how it is superior. Again, sometimes within different steps of Ashtanga Yoga, how it is superior to meditation, how it is superior to Samadhi achieved by yogis. So, and how it is superior to Jnana, impersonal knowledge, how it is superior to Karma. So, how it is like that, all these things are described in Bhagavad Gita very elaborately at different places. So, now in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you see, there is discussion about controlling senses. So, how devotees, by the power of bhakti, they easily conquer over senses, but non-devotees, they cannot. Prabhupada gives the example of, Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa, etc., etc. there. Tani sarvani sanyamya. What is that? Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha vashaya sendriyani tasya prajna pratishtita. 2.61. Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha. So, if you see in the end of second chapter, Prabhupada, in the last purport, Prabhupada, he summarized the second chapter saying that in Bhagavad Gita second chapter, so all the subjects of Bhagavad Gita are covered. There is description of karma, there is description of jnana, and a glimpse of bhakti is given, he says. So that glimpse of bhakti is found in this verse, Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matpara verse, matpara devotees. Matpara means Vasudeva Parayana, Narayana Parayana, these words come, again and again. So Parayana means completely absorbed in Krishna, completely absorbed in Narayana or Vasudeva. So such devotees, Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asita matparaha. So they completely conquer over senses. Sanyamya means. Baldev Prabhupada quotes in the purport Baldev Vidyabhushan commentary on the word Matparaha. Matpara, he expands, word expands. So Mad Bhakti Prabhavena Sarvendriya Vijaya, like that he writes in Sanskrit. By the power of my devotional service, Krishna is saying that, in the words of Krishna, Baldev Vidyabhushan, he writes. By the power or influence of my devotional service, they easily conquer our senses. Sarvendriya, all the senses, Sarvendriya Vijaya. So in this way, this devotional service, the force of devotional service, so gives, reveals Lord's form to devotees. This appears that, we are forcing Lord to appear by the bhakti, but bhakti itself is like that. It is more powerful than Lord himself. So this is, of course, rasa point of view. So even with the limited eyes, one can achieve a constant vision one may have with a mind in meditation. So some of this translation I am not feeling so comfortable actually. Ata parichinna drishapi siddhe nirantaram than manaseva samyak. We'll read the commentary. Now the Vaikuntha Dutas, willing to go along no further with Pippalayana's thinking, refute one of his ideas. Pippalayana might say, seeing the Supreme Lord with one's own eye is imperfect because by nature external perception is imperfect. Interruptions and obstacles will inevitably impede one's external vision of the Lord. The mind, however, is extremely subtle. It can reach everywhere and enjoy undisturbed darshana of the Lord in all circumstances. Actually, if we want to study these, these literature, they are very deep actually. So this all goes into, Nyaya, Mimamsa, understanding what is the means of, especially in Nyaya, what is the means of, so what is the means of attaining or understanding, reaching, so absolute truth, So by perception, by, sense perception and all these things are discussed elaborately. So if you want to go technically, all these books, then we have to study a lot. But okay. So here, Pippalayana, he says, seeing the Supreme Lord with one's own eye is imperfect because by nature external perception is imperfect. Interruptions and obstacles will inevitably impede one's external vision of the Lord. The mind, however, is extremely subtle. It can reach everywhere and enjoy undisturbed darshan of the Lord in all circumstances. So, you see the difference here. What is devotees? They will attain perfection and they will see the Lord with their eyes, with external vision. But the yogis, they see in the heart. They are not seeing with the eyes. So they are seeing with the mind. So how it is possible, we may not understand this. Those who want to understand, you have to study Patanjali Yoga Sutras elaborately. Actually, there is one book written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Prema Pradipa. In that, I was telling about super excellence of devotional service over Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana, Karma. So in that, basically, elaborately, he discusses how bhakti is superior to Ashtanga Yoga. So one Vaishnava Babaji comes and another Yogi Babaji comes, and they discuss about bhakti, and one person argues from yoga point of view and Vaishnava Babaji argues from devotional point of view. And if you read that, I felt it is very boring. Why? Because all Patanjali Yoga Sutras are quoted and discussed and technical things. I was surprised. What I understood was those days when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was writing, there were so many yogis who, of course, now also yoga is very popular. Now Modi has made it as International Yoga Day, and all over the world people practice. But this is just commercial yoga, just for health or some increase their sense gratifying power. So, but those days they were strict Patanjali yogis, strict yogis who would study Patanjali Yoga Sutras and practice according to that. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote that book. So like that. So here they see with the mind, and so Pipalayana is trying to prove that Ashtanga is, so seeing through mind is more superior than seeing with external senses or eyes. But if Lord wants us to see Him, why we can see through any way, right or not. So just like Arjuna was given special vision to see, Vishwarupa. Although this is not one of the things Pipalayana told Gopakumara and Tapaloka. Now actually Pipalayana is not here. But because Gopakumara has passed through all this, so what Vaikuntha Dutas are trying to do? They are trying to remove. If he has anarthas in his mind passing through all this. So because these lower realms, they are all, especially within the universe, in higher planetary systems, they are all devotees only in one sense, but they are all mixed with. So those who mix yoga with bhakti, they will go to Tapaloka. Those who emphasize Varnashrama more than bhakti, they will go to Sargaloka. So, and those who emphasize Jnana more than bhakti, among devotees only, so they will go to Janaloka. So like that. Sometime detachment, you may become one of the Saptarishi or Saptarishi Loka, you may go, Saptarishi Mandala. They are attached to detachment there. So like that. So these mixed bhaktis. So now what bhakti we have to do? We have to do pure devotional service. Our city devotees are doing Vikarma Mishra Bhakti. It's not even Karma Jnana Yoga Mishra. It is Vikarma Mishra. It is. I don't know where is, there is no such thing where they will end up. So although this is not one of the things Pipalayana told Gopakumara, the Vaikuntha Dutas refute in this verse. By the Supreme Lord's infinite mercy, even external eyes can see Him in all His splendor. This is further evidence of the great efficacy of devotional service. What is the time? Any idea? You can see here also.
7:50. 7:50.
Okay, another 5 minutes we'll take, or we can take questions if you want. Any questions?
So he's recollecting people and Rishi's discussion lately.
There when he went to Tapaloka, there was no much elaborate discussion between Pipalayana and others. But something was there. But here he is taking it more detailed, that he may have Vishnu Vaikuntha Dutas they, because before he enters now he will enter now Vaikuntha. So they are removing all his, he's a pure devotee, but they are like just for teaching us, we people are attached to so many things, mixing so many things, contaminating so much. So like that, to elevate our consciousness. And Gopakumara becomes, just like Arjuna becomes instrument in Bhagavad Gita, so like that Gopakumara becomes instrument there.
And where is this Mahatattva located?
Where is Mahatattva located?
You are explaining, is it in any of the layers of universe or outside universe? He doesn't involve.
So this I think this Mahakalapura is it is some, I don't remember now what exactly the description there. In the beginning when he comes here, it seems that it is Mahatattva only, Mahakalapura. Because if you, what I read in proper books is that, like he says that, although it is also eternal, because Prakriti is eternal actually. Some portion of the spiritual world becomes covered by Mahatattva, then Mahavishnu enters there, then like that he explains proper. So now he is there only in Mahatattva. Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Vipul Chandra Prabhu had told that in Mahatattva Mohini Murti is worshipped.
Yeah. Something it comes here, I think. We have crossed, I don't remember now exactly. I think we have crossed that, I think. Anything else? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatamritam ki jai.